Oh my god. Good job, dude. Let's see. 33 seconds. By the way, how's it going? I hope your day's going good, but... Good job, dude. You joined at 33 seconds. That's fast. Give yourself a pat on the back, my dude. You did a good job. Welcome. Crap, we're getting too much stone. Dude, we literally... Hey, you know what? As much as I hate digging out this area, look how much coal we just got. And I'm watching a video about, like, Nightmare in the Classroom. My teachers are quitting. Honestly, I have so much respect for teachers, and for people that go into school, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You sound corny. Let's just face this. You have to drag your sorry ass into work every day, up to kids who are very disrespectful, do not know any of their manners, do not know any, again, respect whatsoever. After that, you make literally almost no more than about $60,000 a year. Nice. Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can. Okay. Oh boy. From the outlet. Oh. Remember, kids. Black is hot. White is neutral. Green is ground. The more you know with Race Abbott. I've actually wired up an outlet. It's not that hard to a certain degree, but it's such a pain because you have to cram everything. Give me the what? Also, I have a funny story after you get yours done. I might see if I can get my sister to play tomorrow, because she just finished her finals, just yet today. Like, my funny story, I actually was in college and I was wiring up... okay, you're not done, sorry. Wait, you ripped the socket out? Like, did you actually rip... Did you rip the socket or did you rip the prongs? Oh, describe your damage. I might know how to fix. Because if you've ripped the goddamn socket out of the wall. Okay, here's your problem. The socket, it wasn't your fault. To a certain degree. Whoever wired the thing, that's their fault. They didn't wire it, they didn't screw it into the wall correctly. You see, we have these things called gang boxes, or junctions. Or like, you know, the thing called a single gang. And a single gang is like a light switch. Like, for example, we will not fix it. Oh, you bet you might want to. It looks like this. So if you rip the socket out, it looks like what happened is that there's these two little screw holes at the top, one there, and the person who put the electrical outlet in there didn't screw it good enough to there, or the gang box came loose, is what you're describing. So really all you gotta do is find someone to come in, lock out, tag out your electrical box, and screw in a brand new outlet, or screw it back into its gang box, put the cover back on, and there you go. However, you do not want to mess with 120 volts. I don't know, you may either die or suffer extreme pain from a shock from that voltage. Yeah, I might want to get an electrician to get in and fix that. I have outlets that have been ripped from the wall before. I've ever once, I unplugged something, and the prongs got stuck in the outlet, so I called it the suicide outlet. Due to the fact you could probably kill yourself, or at least very severely harm yourself, by touching the prongs. But funny moment, I actually was wiring up an electrical box, and, well, my dumbass took the hot wire, and it touched the conduit. For example, oof. But what happened is, you know, a circuit breaker, it'll detect when there's a lot of current going through, as, you know, if something touches the edge of a conduit box. So you know, like the little gang boxes, like these little metal boxes with little metal conduits. I was wiring one of those up, and I turn it on, and all of a sudden all you hear is BAM! And I saw a spark come off one of the gang boxes, and luckily So, are we talking like an HDMI cord? Yeah, we talk like an HDMI cord that ripped or something. I remember once, speaking of like electrical fixtures, I was shooting my Orbeez gun, and I was at my grandpa's house. Ooh, like a LAN maybe. and I shot, like, you know, like the little, like, light switches are like little, they're like very thin buttons. Like the really modern ones. They look like that. It looks like these. I shot one with my Orbeez gun, and the switch cracked. It cracked and broke. I'm like, uh-oh. But technically, with my college expertise, I should be able to technically fix that. And luckily, my grandpa was like, whatever. I was so sorry. I offered to pay to fix it. Actually, technically, it's a good thing it's a light switch, because technically, I'm sorry if I keep saying technically a lot. But, the light switch, that's not really too hard to wire in. All you gotta do is wire... Oh, God. All you gotta do is wire the hot in the both leads of the switch, and bypass the neutral and ground the thing using pigtail splice. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you take a light switch, you're gonna on a two-way switch, basically on-off. Oh, that sucks. But anyway, so if you pull out a light switch, it's got these two little prongs. There's one at the top, one at the bottom, and there's one at the bottom front. The one at the bottom front is green, and that's a ground. So you basically, what you do is you take non-metallic wire, and you wrap it in a hook shape, and you hook it around the screw and screw it in. And then what you do with the switch is that since only one lead needs to be, only one cord needs to go in, you take the hot wire, which is black, you wire incoming to the first top lead or whatever, and then you wire the other black to the other, and then you take the white, which is the neutral, and you splice them together, and you bypass. Because with one switch, you don't really need... You can literally bypass either of them. You can pick either hot or neutral to bypass. But on an outlet, you have to wire all four ends. And then you have to do a thing called grounding. And what grounding does is that, well, electricity takes the path of least resistance. And have you ever gone outside your house and you've seen this little metal stick in the ground and it's got a wire connected to it? That's a ground. Which means that if the wire or whatever, if it suffers an issue, what it's gonna do is it's gonna send electricity into the ground where it can safely dissipate and it won't hurt you. For example, when you get shocked, like if you took your hand and you get shocked, the electricity is what it's gonna... I know I'm nerding out right now, I know. What the problem is that the electricity, when you get shocked, it's because of resistance. You have natural electricity flowing all throughout your body. That's okay. You have electricity flowing through your body, and the fact that you go from like maybe like 1 volt or so in your body to like 120, and that's why electricity hurts. And that's why, another thing is, that's why it hurts to touch hot objects. Your body is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and for 100 degrees to go all the way up to like 200, that's why, you know, the hotter it is, the more painful of a burn, because it's thermal resistance. Anyway, what I was saying is, what happens, like, if you touch something with your hand, what's gonna happen is that the electricity is, if I touch this with this finger, hi, see ya. Maybe for anybody else that watches, the most dangerous way to get shocked, people, And kids, pay attention. The most dangerous way to be shocked is your hand to hand. Why? Because if you get shocked from hand to hand, the electricity is going to go through your arm, right through here, out the other arm. And guess what's right here? Your heart. Your heart is right here. So that means that if you get a hand-to-hand shock and it's got enough amps into it, it's going through your freaking heart. And your heart being a muscle will be controlled by electricity. Yes, again, there is electricity in your body. Not a lot of it, though. And the fact that electrical, energy goes right through your heart, yeah, that's not a good thing, kids. Another is your is what's called leg to leg. So the electricity is going to go up here, cross your groin, and then back down. That is the best way to be shocked of anything. Now, the reason I say that is because that electrical energy is not going to go through any major organs. You don't want to get your, what zapped. That's going to suck, but it's better that than your heart. Now, another thing is that we also have hand to leg. So you touch electricity, goes through your arm, goes down, and if it's your right arm, it's going to go down your right leg. Depends. If your legs are both on the ground and I touch, it's going to go down here and it's going to go through my leg and out. The bad thing is that most people get like a burn or a scar on their foot because that's where the electricity arcs. I would show an image, but they are quite graphic. So if you look up a scar from, shock, I do recommend viewer discretion because electrical shocks and burns are quite grisly and they can be disturbing. So yeah, most dangerous way to be shocked is from hand to hand or from ear to ear. If you are somehow shocked between here, that's going right between your brain and you're dead. Let's see, most dangerous way to be shocked. It's going to say hand. Current from arm to arm, between arm and foot. It feels like it traverses the heart. Well, yeah, I knew that. I didn't know, I forgot that arm to leg was this dangerous, but I'm not surprised. But anyway, yeah, arm to arm is very dangerous because, again, it goes right through your heart. That's why electricians have a rule. Work with one hand if possible. Because if you can work with one hand, that basically reduces the amount or reduces the chance you have of killing yourself from a shock or hurting yourself. What does an arm to leg shock suck? Oh hell yeah, it sucks. Any shock sucks. But the biggest suckage is gonna come from arm to arms. The 4 shock factors by Hydro-Quebec.
And it's perfectly safe when used correctly. But when it comes into contact with conductive material, electricity travels at lightning speed.
And by the way, if anybody wants to know how fast electricity can travel, if I were to take a set of power lines, uninterrupted, and I stretched them across the planet, electricity is able to circulate 7 times per second across Earth. So what? Electricity can travel roughly about 170,000 miles per second. So basically, when electricity flows, it is damn instant. No, it's not instant, but to the human scale, it is. For example, when you flick the lights on, it's not instant. It takes time. However, the amount of time is so minuscule that the human brain cannot comprehend a distance between the intervals. Basically, what I'm saying is your brain cannot comprehend the time between turning a light switch on and the lights going on. Like, electricity just goes that fast. I mean, no shit.
Metal, or even your body, can be a conductor. If you were to come
Human
in contact
flesh
with
is
a
made of
bare or damaged
80%-ish water.
unprotected
And guess what likes to go through water? Electricity.
Electricity will always be faster than you. That's why you need to avoid situations where you might come into contact with electricity.
Next, here's what
An
it's going to
electric
say.
shock can cause tickling or tingling, muscle spasms, serious burns, or even a heart attack. Why are there so many variations?
And by the way, if anybody wants to know, another nerd out here, is that around above 100 milliamps is where it becomes fatal. So if you want to know the amperage of which it takes for a person to die of electricity, you're looking at roughly 100 milliamps or above, and that will do the trick. And by the way, let me get this out of the way. Voltage doesn't kill. Just because something has so many volts doesn't mean it's deadly. It's the amps that kill. Again, like maybe at 10 maybe like 1 milliamp, it's probably like a little shock. Where 100 is almost fatal, or it can be fatal. What happens at like I think 50 milliamps is where your body starts to just lose control of the muscles, and that's when shit goes down or shit hits the fan real fast.
In a dangerous situation involving electricity, 4 shock factors immediately come into play: voltage, resistance, path, and duration. Voltage is the difference in electrical potential between the ground and a wire or other conductive material.
Yeah, it's
Distribution line voltage can vary from 12,000 to 34,500 volts, which is enough power to cause a severe injury. Your body's resistance to electricity can vary depending whether your skin is damp or dry.
When it's wet.
The electricity flows through your body.
That's why we say don't work on wet floors.
The degree of electrical shock. There's a far bigger risk of internal injury when the current travels through your heart, as opposed to just jumping from finger to finger. Contact can last for just a few milliseconds or more than a second, but even a few milliseconds is enough to injure you. The severity of the electric shock is determined by the combination of the various shock factors. It's impossible to predict exactly what the outcome will be before the accident, and it all happens in a flash. Electricity will always be faster than you.
Yep.
There's no such thing as a safe shock where electricity is concerned, but there's an easy way to prevent accidents. Avoid dangerous situations.
Exactly. Wear good clothes. Work with one hand.
Paul thinks there's too much shade in his backyard. He'll fix that. It won't take long.
And there we go. He just created himself a ladder, and it is grounded. And now it is also... it has a little fleshy human on top of it. Yeah, this ain't going well. And he's got a metal tool, which what's gonna happen most likely is that he's gonna hit the wire, it's gonna do a hand to leg, and it's probably gonna go right through his heart. Yeah, not good so far.
Paul didn't spot the danger before starting work. As it fell, the branch came into contact with a medium voltage line. This type of wire is bare. It doesn't have an insulating sheath.
What the hell?
Let's see what our shock factors say. The voltage level is medium.
Hello.
And the potential difference between the power line and the ground is 14,400 volts. When Paul was working, the correct current
We transport things in high voltage because it actually reduces cost. We don't do it because it was, we need more power. Well, sometimes. We need high voltage because the higher the voltage, the less loss. Is there like no lava in here? Apparently there isn't a flowing water lava bucket. An arc flash. I watched a video about. My dad's told me about arc flash. Arc flash is horrifying. Because my dad's told me that some people, when they actually suffer an arc flash or have an arc flash occur near them, the only thing that exists of them are their boots. Their body completely vaporized or burned. Gone. Literally reduced to atoms. Arc flashes can reduce temperatures up to 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot enough to instantly boil and vaporize tungsten. That is also 3 times as hot as the surface of the sun and 60% of the temperature of freaking lightning. Just for a sense of scale, That is a lot of power.
This video is provided for informational purposes only. The contents of this video cannot substitute for proper training under and implementation of industry standards applicable to servicing and testing.
John Fluke.
You must carefully review and
Oh, Fluke tools, the $20 fuse tools. I need to get myself a Fluke, except for if you actually blow a fuse, it's like $20 to replace it. Which is why they don't let us college boys take them into school, or not take them into school, but they don't give us Flukes because they're too expensive. Arc Flash I've always just feared Arc Flash.
One of the most dangerous situations anyone working with electricity faces is an arc flash.
I'm studying electricity for my college degree, so it's always good for me to watch these vids. Yeah. Basically, some people say air has infinite resistance, but no, air doesn't have infinite resistance. If it had infinite resistance, lightning wouldn't be a thing. So arc flash occurs between 2 points where there is enough, there is less resistance, where the electricity can just arc across. Not even the guys in like the big electrical suits are able to survive those arc flashes. Look at this huge block of coal I've formed.
Current passes through ionized air. In less than a second, an arc flash is initiated from a phase to ground or a phase to phase fault. It can result from accidental contact with the electrical systems, the buildup of conductive dust, corrosion, dropped tools, or improper work procedures. The plasma arc has a virtually unlimited current carrying capacity once it's established. The energy of an arc flash converts primarily to heat and light. Within a millisecond, temperatures at the epicenter of an arc flash can reach 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
It's 4 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
Which is absolutely nuts, by the way.
Capable of explosively vaporizing metals such as aluminum and steel. The presence of copper can help sustain the plasma arc, causing a single-phase arc to propagate into a 3-phase arc. The arc blasts that closely follows is a dynamic pressure wave created by the instantaneous expansion of gas. The pressure wave can cause panels to rupture, create flying debris, acoustic injuries, and physical trauma. An arc flash lasts until the overcurrent protective devices open the circuit. A fast-acting fuse may open the circuit in several milliseconds, or a circuit breaker may operate within 6 cycles or less, but by that time, the damage has already been done.
Exactly, like even even a millisecond after they shut off, it doesn't matter. You're still cooked. You can play the card no matter how many times you want. You're just still cooked. Quite literally cooked, by the way. No fuse breaker, circuit breaker will save you.
Events, but that's not the case. Industry sources estimate that in the U.S., 5 to 10 arc flash accidents occur each day.
Holy
The
shit.
U.S. Bureau of Labor reported that in one recent year, 1,000 electrical workers suffered shocks and burns, some fatal. It is estimated that 50% of these injuries were related to arc flash. While you can't totally eliminate the dangers of working with electricity, with careful planning and applying what you've learned here today, you can reduce them. On behalf of everyone at Fluke Corporation, thank you for watching.
Yeah, Fluke. I like Fluke. OSHA electrical shock. I love watching these videos and just reacting to them. They're so fun. Oh, it's an old ass one from like the 2000s. Let's go. I know maybe this isn't the funnest thing to react to, but hey, I like it. It's fun to me. I am like no cap. I'm actually an OSHA 10. I have an OSHA 10-hour certification, which means I have a basic comprehension and understanding of workplace safety of like general industry, so like your retail store, yada yada. I'm not like, you know, I don't know every in and out of OSHA, but I have the card that tells me like I know literal basic workplace safety. Like I can literally tell you, hey, you shouldn't have a railing outside of 36 to 38 inch. What is that thing called? Something bridge. I love that. It's like the thing that has like two wires that makes an arc. It's something called a something bridge. Electricity is so pretty and dangerous. Hi. How's it going? Yep, W hat indeed. You know what the most forbidden thing I've ever done was? Is in my high school, or not my high school, but my college class. I did the unthinkable. I actually shoved prongs into an electrical outlet. But for more context, there's this thing called outlet tester. And you put it in the outlet, and it tells you how many volts it's putting out. It feels so weird to put things into an electrical socket. I just love these OSHA videos. I love watching the janky animations and stuff.
It's become almost as much a part of our everyday lives as breathing. We live with it and enjoy its many advantages day in and day out. And certainly being on the job in today's world means dealing with electricity.
By the way, another reason I like watching these is because I can help tighten my knowledge on my studies.
So what's the big deal? Well, each year, thousands of people die or suffer injury in the United States alone.
And that's like something that really is interesting about, you know, electricity. It's not like radiation, or like where like radiation's kind of limited, or like poison, like or chemicals. Like I know chemicals are really everywhere, but I mean electricity. It's not like it's like, it's literally everywhere. It's in your devices. It's literally in you. Like, you literally have electricity inside of you. The fact that such a voltage could just, you know, absolutely terminate your life subscription, and it's not that much to a certain degree. You only need about, again, like 100 milliamps to kill a person. So it doesn't take like an extreme amount to a certain degree. The amps from your electrical sockets in your house are enough to kill a man. Yeah, it's like you don't even have to go that far to find, deadly voltage. Honestly. My favorite safety video is shaking hands with danger, but it gets a little graphic.
Is also one of nature's deadliest forces. Too many electricity-related deaths and accidents occur each year in the workplace. But you already take every imaginable precaution and can see any dangerous electrical situation, right? Well, if that's the case, why is it so many workers are injured or die every year because of needless electrical accidents?
Think for a minute to the day-to-day situations you experience in your job. When was the last time you were in too much of a hurry to wear your hard hat or insulated gloves? Can you recall a time when it was...
And by the way, when people think about insulated gloves, it's not simple. When people do electricity, they have to check everything. They have to check between the fingers, around. They have to check it where there's seams, because any little crack inside of one of these gloves could lead to the end of their lives. So it's not like, oh, you throw the gloves on. Like, you have to inspect the gloves very, very, very recently, according to OSHA and NIOSH standards. Literally, your life could depend on cracked gloves. One little crack is all it takes.
Convenient to shut the main power off. Or maybe you observed a coworker who decided to skip safety because he thought he knew what he was doing.
Literally just any American out there.
The big problem with electricity is that most of the time you don't get a second chance. One
Exactly.
mistake, your carelessness or inexperience.
Literally, electricity is indiscriminate. It doesn't care who you are. It'll kill you no matter what if you're not paying close enough attention.
We'll look at each accident, then we'll explain why each incident occurred and how it could have been avoided.
I'm pretty good with electrical safety. I use lockout, tagout, keep my hands dry. I don't work with one hand though. That's an issue. That's my biggest weakness. Case 1. 7 years ago,
Electricians Paul and Mark traced an electrical problem in a high-powered piece of equipment.
Did you use lockout, tagout?
40-volt three-phase circuit breaker. They disconnected the breaker from the load side. Then they tested it electrically using a micrometer and found it to be electrically defective.
Well, defective. Let me see it. Order another one.
After Paul removed the breaker, he placed it on a counter away from the breaker box. Mark proceeded by ordering a replacement breaker.
Some dumbass is gonna take the breaker and shove it back in, aren't they?
When it was delivered. Therefore, both men neglected to tag the defective
Oh
breaker.
god, yep. Here it comes.
Neither man communicated the status or location of the defective circuit breaker.
Yeah, just place it somewhere on top of a shelf. Nobody will ever know.
To see that the circuit breaker had been installed.
Yeah.
Mark had every intention of installing the replacement breaker before leaving that day. Unfortunately, the replacement was not delivered until so late in his shift that he had no time to finish the job.
He's not gonna shove the thing back in, is he?
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
The second shift supervisor has assigned the installation to a second team of electricians. The problem is, no one on this shift knows which is the replacement circuit breaker. Not following company tagging.
Can they like label anything? Like, can they just like wrap a piece of tape on it and say, hey, this is number 1, number 2, yada yada?
Here's a replacement breaker.
What
I
a
can't
shit
believe
show.
they didn't finish up. We'll never get this rewiring job done if they keep pulling us off of it.
Frank, it's only a circuit breaker installation. It's a 3-minute job. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, well, a bunch of 3-minute jobs add up to be a lot when you can't get your own work done. This just won't fit.
Well, Frank, the right one's got to be around here somewhere.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a rule. I'm gonna nerd out here another time. Here's a rule with circuit breakers and circuit boxes. You always order the same circuit breaker from the same brand as the circuit box. If you're using General Electric, you buy General Electric circuit breakers. If you're using Square D's, you order Square D circuit breakers. You don't put Square D's and General Electrics and General Electrics and Square D's. You always choose the same brand of circuit breaker and circuit box. So this is what probably happened. He either bought the wrong amperage of circuit breaker, or what he's trying to do, or what he actually did, is he actually bought the incorrect brand, or a different brand of circuit breaker. Huge no-no. Just a huge no-no. Which, you don't put it back, you just take it out, and you just go get another one. You might lead to loss in production. He's going to use the exact same one that he took out.
Hey, here it is, Frank. Here's the replacement breaker they brought. Okay, I'll get rid of this one.
Waste.
Well, everything looks all right with this one, Frank. It works mechanically, but why don't we get the maker and check it?
Look, we've been fooling with this long enough. That one didn't fit, so this has to be the right one.
Well, you're probably right, Frank.
How you guys doing?
Did he even lock out, tag out the entire box?
Nothing major. See? Fits like a glove. I'm gonna close it now.
Well, defective.
Uh-oh. Arc flash! Oh, shit. Man, he survived an arc flash, although he's on fire. Stop, drop, and roll, dude. What the fuck? There's a mouse in my room. God damn it! Not again! Ah! Oh my god, I saw the little asshole. I literally saw the bastard go across the wall. Damn it, I need more stickies. No, I saw it. I saw a freaking brown go across my peripheral. I'm Sentry. I know what I saw. Son of a bitch, there's another mouse. Holy shit. Am I gonna have to kill a sixth one? You little asshole, you have a couple days before I put a couple traps.
Impatience and not following proper testing procedures turned that potential disaster into a tragic reality. That man received severe burns and then died during surgery a few days after the accident.
Damn.
Even with the errors made by that first team of electricians, that fatal explosion could have been avoided. Let's review.
Yeah, that was the arc flash.
To tag the defective circuit breaker Because they assumed that they would later install the replacement breaker, they neglected also to communicate crucial information about the breaker to their ship supervisor.
How many errors and accidents occur from lack of communication shock me. No pun intended.
Did not finish the job. On the second shift, the supervisor was not aware of the status or placement of the two breakers when he assigned the installation to the second team of electricians. He should have waited to assign the job until he found out exactly which circuit breakers had been installed. The worker's first mistake was not finding out the status of the job before proceeding. Even more dangerous was not de-energizing the system before beginning the installation. Secondly, they neglected to pre-test the replacement breaker's mechanical and electrical integrity. Had they done so, they would have known beyond a doubt that they had the correct circuit breaker. Now, when the electrician brought the defective circuit breaker over, he tested it only for mechanical integrity. Although it was available, he did not test it with the megameter for its electrical integrity. Breaker over. In their impatience, they assumed that because the second breaker was okay mechanically, it must have been the right one.
Yeah, someone got arc flash.
Those assumptions, along with their impatience to get the job done, cost one man his life. No matter how hard you try to justify them, shortcuts and impatience have no place in the electrical work environment.
These workers took a
Like, literally, here's what you get.
basic electrical safety practice.
When you save 30 seconds on an electrical job,
De-energizing
you save yourself 30 years from waiting from death.
However, remember that even though equipment has been de-energized,
You save 30 minutes,
shock can still
you might be able to save 30 seconds, but it'll cost you 30 years.
And remember, some circuits can store a deadly electrical charge which you may be unaware of when you de-energize.
Exactly, there could be capacitors or batteries,
Voltage with
or a second connected voltage.
Make sure you have a clean ground contact point to a main earth ground. To safely discharge the stored power, connect the other end of the temporary ground to the capacitor. And last, never try to find out if there is electrical voltage left in a disconnected circuit by touching the equipment. Consult
That's just
the
a death
manufacturer's
wish.
service manual, or check with your company's safety supervisor.
I'm sure you'll recognize the cause of this accident. The employee had received proper training to avoid injury, but neglected to follow company procedure. Let's take a look at the results.
Badass
I'm glad
transition.
you're back. The boss called and said he needs equipment you're working on. And he said he needs it right away. Did you bring me my sandwich?
This is ridiculous. I'm the only one out there today. I do not have time for this garbage.
You might like to know he's coming back in a couple of hours to pick it up.
Uh-oh.
This is unbelievable. This guy's crazy. I'm supposed to drop everything else I'm doing.
There it is. He's in a bad temper. He's unfocused.
Like
This
many
is
of us, he works
dangerous.
with power tools on the job. The thing is, Jeff is so wrapped up in his own frustration that he neglects the most important thing: his safety.
Exactly.
We all use powered hand tools from time to time. Whether it's on the job or at home, the dangers are the same. Jeff was
Outlet is off. What the hell? And the prongs are shit. And he just lost his ground.
Why is he taking dangerous chances with his life?
Yeah. Okay, now you can use an electrical tool with a cord when when the ground prong is missing. Although you really don't want to do this. Ground could save your ass from trouble. Just get another cord. Rewire it if you're skilled enough, or just get another device. Or get it fixed. What the hell? Yep, he suffered the ground.
Let's review exactly why Jeff was injured on the job.
He wasn't.
First,
He acted as the ground.
by his frustration.
Exactly.
Jeffs can come in many forms.
Emotions are
Accidents
distractions.
and injuries. To work safely, keep your mind on the job or take a break. Otherwise, the consequences can be tragic. Second,
Exactly.
Jeff neglected a basic principle of electrical safety. He used a three-prong plug with the ground removed.
Yep.
Third, he plugged it into an unsafe receptacle.
And the receptacle basically is just falling off the wall.
Grabbed hold of Jeff and nearly took his life. Fortunately, he was rushed to the hospital and survived his accident. There are many cases where the worker was not so lucky. Jeff's case was one of using equipment improperly. His safety depended on the proper care and use of his tools. Learn from Jeff's mistake and follow these tool care tips. Check
Don't.
tools before using
Yeah,
them to be
check
sure
them.
they're
Don't
used
use ones that have only 2 out of 3 prongs.
Be sure that your power tools have the proper insulation installed by the manufacturer. Never improvise tool insulation. Ensure that the proper safety guards or shields are in place as well.
This next case shows us the dangers involved when developing bad habits dealing with electricity. Often the routineness associated with working around electricity allows us to become lazy and unguarded with exposed circuits. Watch what happens.
Yeah, because if I'm gonna tell you one thing, when humans are forced to repeat tasks over and over and over again, shit gets bad. Humans suck at repeating tasks over and over. We just suck at monotonous tasks. Can you blame us? And yep, I probably see where this is going, coming from the fact that, again, people just suck at repeating things over and over.
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? You did it again, Sam. You borrowed my half-inch wrench. Yeah, I found it in my pocket when I got home. Listen, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Hey, I borrowed Mike's wrench, and do me a favor and take it back to him for me, will you? No problem. I'll be back in a minute. I have to get my tools.
Wait, what? He did not just do what I think he just did. He just put a tool in an electrical panel. What the shit? That is... You are asking for an arc flash. Dude just put a tool...
Jimmy found a way to keep his tools handy and hidden from the guy on the next shift. The problem is, for convenience, Jimmy put his life at risk by bypassing electrical safety controls and neglecting company policies. It just took a couple of weeks reaching in to get his tools every day, and Jimmy forgot all about the danger. Bypass safety procedures long enough, and pretty soon you'll start thinking it's safe and okay, just like Jimmy. It's really the luck of the draw, though. And how lucky can you be day after day, year after year?
Jimmy must have put his hand inside that electrical disconnect 1,000 times over the last 2 years. He never de-energized the power. Just reached right in.
Even if it was de-energized, it still wouldn't be a good idea. You're begging for an arc flash to occur. Putting a metallic object near electrical cords, even insulated, just not a good idea. Arc flash! Right there. And it might have actually not just been an arc flash, that actually probably was more like... Oh no, that was an arc flash. Kind of. But he probably connected 2 areas, and then his body acted as a
happens too often.
conductor.
Electrical accidents caused by reaching in. Workers bypass electrical safety controls or neglect safe de-energizing procedures. The results are always the same. Eventually, luck runs out, and either you or your coworker pay the price.
I love how people that demonstrate the unsafe practices have to be the most stupidest, most goofy workers.
Jimmy storing his tools in that disconnect is an example of poor housekeeping. Housekeeping is the efficient arrangement of tools, equipment,
and the organization of on-site items. Basically, clean floors, organized tools, yada yada.
Daily housekeeping means that you constantly be aware of your surroundings and take necessary precautions when you spot potential danger. For instance, keep any moisture away from electrical sources and clean up spills promptly. Also, be aware of any atmospheric hazards in your work area. A stray spark from a live electrical circuit may cause an explosion if dust particles exist in the air.
Yeah.
Keep your work area well ventilated. Any atmospheric hazards, including poor lighting, should be corrected as well.
This last case will illustrate the danger caused.
This video is called OSO Electrical Shock Safety by Peabody Insurance.
Performing electrical repairs.
Case number 4.
Is this one? Yep. Voltage regulator unit 4. Oh man, I left my case out on the transmitter. I'll be back.
What's he doing?
Hey, Bob, why don't you bring my clothes while you're over there? Bob?
He's working with 2 hands. Let's see. So he's holding it like he's what's it called? I'm sorry. He's holding a prong like this when he's pronging. You should really be holding it like that to get it as far away. Not only is he doing this, is he probing in a panel with his hand a little bit too close to the metal tip of the prong, or his hand a little bit too far down the barrel of the prong. He's also using his hand is bare naked, which means that yeah, he is cruising for a bruising. All it takes is one accident. Oopsie. It doesn't matter if it's a neutral or hot. One wrong touch. What's gonna happen? Is he gonna get spooked? And he's probing a fuse box, and he's literally his hand is too far down the barrel, and he has no gloves on. This guy is asking to die. No kidding. Yes, he has lost muscle control. And there he is. 100 milliamps strikes again. He cooked. Literally, that's how I was taught in my school. You hold it like this, not like that. Get your hand as far away from it, and you put your glove on.
Same task, probably 100 times. But because he failed to follow the most elementary safety rules, this one
Proper clothing.
it cost him his life. How many times have you perhaps made the same mistake, but gotten lucky?
Not yet.
As we review the errors in this case, compare them to your personal work habits or attitudes.
However, I have gone in school, and I have probed live electrical boxes at 208 volts. And no shock yet. Because I actually followed the safety procedures and stuff like that. But yeah. Literally, even if the guy had some gloves on, he probably would have lived.
Communicating with his partner. He should have
Exactly. Hey, can you get my gloves out loud and clear? If he doesn't go, get the gloves yourself.
His overconfidence around electricity led him to disregard certain basic safety precautions, and most importantly, he neglected to wear his personal protective equipment.
Gloves.
No matter how minor or simple the job may seem, you cannot afford to work without proper PPE. It can save you from serious injury.
Yeah, that guy got killed, Womp Womp.
In order for personal protective equipment to protect you, it must be used and used properly. Inspect all PPE.
Exactly, especially the gloves.
Checking safety glasses, hard hats, climbing devices, and your insulated rubber protective gear.
You should probably be wearing a Class E helmet too.
Do not wear loose clothing that might get caught in equipment. Do not wear jewelry. Not only could it get caught, but gold and silver are excellent conductors of electricity.
True, gold is an extremely good conductor.
Your hat.
Keep your hard hat on, especially. However, the type I know, and that, again, I'm nerding out. It has to be a Class G or E. Class G means general, E for electrical, and then C for I forgot what C was for. Class C hard hat meant conductive. It means conductive. Yeah, I knew about that. Class G means general, and it can survive 2,000 volts. And yep, I'm right. Actually, 2,200 volts. And I was right. Class E can survive 20,000. And yeah, that's just that. I'm gonna go, guys. It's 12:15. It's midnight, and yeah, I'm tired. Maybe my sister will come join me tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you, and have a nice one. Peace out, my